Welcome to Center of Light. On this, I'm lost in the Seaville, y'all. This today, Tuesday? Monday. Center of Light. Tonight we're speaking about Center of Light readiness. What to expect.
Access granted.
Access granted.
Go where no man has gone before.
Thank you, Abilita Chadwick, for sharing. Everyone share this beautiful work everywhere. Good to see you. Keith Anthony Blanchett, Yanava. Robert, again, thank you. Robert, again, thank you. Hello, Dana. Hello, Darlene. Abilita. Let's see who else might be here. Rick Vito, the V. V-Man, the V-ster. Good to see you. Center of Light readiness. What to expect. So tonight is going to be actually about paradox, sort of. And that's the paradox, sort of a paradox. Tonight is about paradox, basically. But it is definitely about being ready and what to expect, equally, what not to expect. Don't expect anything at all. Expect that. That's what we're going to be sharing about tonight. Rachel Rembert. Hello, Rachel. How are you, girl? How's Cindy? Is that right? Your sister Cindy? It's been since I was 16. Been a long time. So tonight is Center of Light readiness. What to expect in this time that we're living in. I have a lot to bring forth. Did some reading today of other spiritual teachers that I completely revere and have lots of respect for. No, complete respect for. One is by the name of Brad Johnson. He channels vessels, integrates with an energy from another place. Well, the other place doesn't matter where it's at, from another place. And he has this teaching called the New Earth Teachings. Very, very profound stuff. You can tell this guy's completely connected. He's solid. He's balanced. He's whole. His word usage, his sentences are cadences. It's very beautifully woven together. Hello, Sana. We're going to be talking about Center of Light readiness. What to expect. Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. Release date August 1st. Beginning of the new month. Pre-order now. You can find that in this room. Let me see. Let me find that link. Pre-order now on Amazon.com. You got a couple extra little dollars in your pocket. Buy a book for someone you love. Push comes to shove, they can pull it out and soar away like an angelic dove. You can also visit me at youtube.com/Keith Anthony, youtube.com/Center of Light Radio. So, since the beginning of the new year, in fact, the last night of last year, the 31st, I went to Vessel Mode, said, tomorrow your life is going to change. Our lives are going to change. And here we said, hello, Sue Lindsay, 2020, July 6, 2020. So we have 7 and 6 is 13, which is a 4, and 2, and 2, that's an 8. So today would be the numerical symbol of 8, infinity. That which never stops, forever, forever. Today, we're living in a space of infinity, vibrational, numerical, signature-wise. Readiness. What to expect. What's coming. What we may over-fix ourselves on about what we think is coming that may never arrive at all. Pro or con. So why waste the energy? Well, I understand having vision to bring about that which you want. That I do understand. I'm talking about playing with fanciful ideas when we have no solid ground to stand on. We have nothing to back up that bet. Yet we keep putting our currency, our energy into this slot machine, and we keep pulling it. And all the time that we gamble with our life, we come up with craps or crap. So why invest in it? Why not invest in you? So much so, these are not just idle, cliche spiritual words. We are all one. You can manifest your life. You are a child of the living God, and you have the power of the Creator at your disposal. The movie The Secret came out. The law of attraction came out. This is all true. We're talking about something greater than that. This is just nuggets into the rabbit hole, the God gate that lives inside of all of us. So tonight we're going to be speaking about what's happening. Is that actually important? We're going to lean into that a little bit, but I really want to push you lovingly, lean into this. There's a storm coming. Do you have an umbrella? And if you have an umbrella, there's no reason to worry about the storm, is there? What is that umbrella? It's that which gives you shelter. Are you living under a divine shelter? Do you feel protected? Do you feel that you are draped in a cloak of light? Now I want to make this clear about the word protection. People often surround themselves with light for protection. I'm asking you, if you're such a one, good. But check your intention. I'm wanting to protect myself from a something, and so I'm going to surround myself with light. I want to offer that very model a little more expansion. You see, when we erect a wall to keep us safe, it's the same wall that imprisons us. So instead of erecting a wall to protect you from a something, what is going to happen is you're going to attract said something at least all the way up to the wall. And if you can find a way in, it will. So you're really not protecting yourself. Likewise, when people say, where are all my prayer warriors? You have to be careful when you have such conscious power. People who are unconscious, but yet conscious power behind those thoughts, behind those prayers. It can go the way you don't want it to. Likewise, the best idea to protect yourself is to surround yourself with peace. Because protection is naturally inherent in peace. So don't protect yourself. Erect yourself. Connect yourself. Affect yourself in such a way that you walk with such a graceful ambiance. Everything moves according to your drum, your heartbeat, that thing in your chest. Do you walk into a room? Can you light it up? When you walk into a room, can you light it up simply just by being you? Try it. Watch what happens. Remember, write it on your hand. Next time I walk into a group of people, light it up. Take a breath when you cross the threshold of the club, the restaurant, wherever it is you're going to go. When you walk into the room, light it up. Take a breath. Hello, Judy. Hello, son. Sun hugs. I love that, Krista. That's awesome. Sun hugs. That's really good. Play on your name and how much you like the light in the sun. That's awesome. Jody Lee Wittes in the house. Whitest Wittes. So be careful when you want to surround yourself with light to protect yourself. Because in the protecting of yourself, you are bringing said thing into your experience that you're trying to protect yourself from. Surround yourself with peace, and protection is inherent. It is included. Center of light, readiness. What to expect. Everyone should be completely ecstatic, excited about what's coming. What's already here is worth everything. But I mean excited and ecstatic, like, oh my God, I'm alive at the most amazing time in frickin' cosmic history. Not planetary history, not human history, not Earth history. Cosmic history. You are the personification. I am the personification. We are the personifications of that which is stepping onto the world stage through people just like you and me. But what's coming? You should be like a little puppy dog in a shop, tails wagging because he knows he's about to get bought. Because this is all just an experience. It may not go the way you want. It may go beyond the way you want. It may go the way you want, and it may go way beyond that. So this is all just a joyful ride, or it's a miserable one. Either way, when you leave this meat suit, this bag of bones, this corporeal self, you're going to be elated by what you had the opportunity to do, experience, hopefully expand into, and for those that we leave behind. Keep in mind, there's a lot of work to do. But the work doesn't have to be an arduous task, strenuous, straining, stressful, efforting. It doesn't have to be. It could be joyful, fun, exciting, playful, sharing, things that we can share with other people and they share back. And then everybody gets in the same boat. Many hands make light work. Many hands make light work. Hello, Joel Flores. Have you been riding with any 18-wheelers lately, dude? Everyone, center of light tonight, we're speaking about readiness, what to expect. It's a paradox. I want you to expect your future. But also, I don't want you to expect anything. Well, Keith, that sounds like word salad. Good. I got some salad dressing for you, and it's called Grace. It's got a little bit of avocado in it as well for your taste. Expect your future, but don't expect anything. It's a paradox. So what does this mean? It means it's split right in the center. You split that atom, and just like an atom bomb, when it goes off, when the atom is split, you split that atom of that paradox in between. Expect your future, but don't expect anything. When you find your true self and the minuscule of that which is beyond what you can see, unless you can see, you split that open, yourself open to the singularity point, the 0 point, and allow that light to come through what you think is you, because you are it, there is nothing else. A new Big Bang will happen. The evolution of consciousness. You are a conscious individual. You understand the words I'm using, the utterances I'm using that came from telepathic thought from some other place. This happens to all of us. And we speak it out. And our intelligence says, I understand what you're saying. Well, of course you do. That's called consciousness. You are conscious. Welcome to the other side. Now we have to go across the bridge a lot further. We are crossing the threshold, but we want to stand eternally, internally, into the gate. Time is up. You cannot be late. Expect your future, but don't expect anything. Something's coming, and it's coming real soon. And I have no doubt it's going to happen by August 1st. How do I know this? I have no issue whatsoever in being incorrect. This is my intuitive notion. I'm pretty darn good at it. I know how to ride a bicycle. I fell a few times when I was young, scraped my knees. As a spiritual teacher, I still fall and scrape my knees, but I get up and I'm ready to ride. And I don't put my seatbelt on. I don't put my helmet on when I ride this life spiritual bicycle. I take that stuff off because I'm in trust mode. And I'm going to go as fast as I can. Because I'm going to find myself in a state of balance. And I don't need all this headgear and protective gear. That protection we talked about. Is it possible that when people put on knee pads and helmets on, they're trying to protect themselves and attract the very thing that they're trying to protect themselves from? So therefore they fall. I'm just asking a very simple question. Hello, Carolyn. She says, should I take a vacation now? Let me stir that pot for you. Hello, Abigail. Hello, Kelly Bauman. So tonight, again, before I take a short pause, is center of light, readiness. What to expect. You can expect there's going to be a paradox. In fact, expect your future, but yet don't expect anything. From this day forth, until all of it is over, and I don't mean just the Rona, we have another 7, 8, whatever years of staying in tribulation, all for the sake of our own expansion. Center of light, readiness. Are you ready for things we never thought possible? Possible. Keith, can it possibly get worse than trafficking and this and that, all these other crazy things? Prepare yourself for what we never thought possible. Both sides of the spectrum. It's never doom and gloom. Never doom and gloom. We use these ideas to give contrast so we can understand the other half, so we can find the fullness and the effulgence of ourselves as 10,000 suns. So we can light the way, not only for ourselves, but for everyone else. And it requires balance. Riding that spiritual life bicycle as fast as you can. Because it is a scientific, physics fact that if you go slow on a bicycle, you wobble. The faster you go, the vibration gets higher, so you stay more atop the bike and afloat and erect and balanced, and you move. There's no wobbling taking place. You get on a bicycle for the first time as a child, the training wheels are now off. You start your first few pedals. You got to do all this stuff. Same. Likewise, when you first learn how to ride the bicycle, the training wheels come off. Your first 2 or 3 times riding the bicycle after the training wheels came off. A couple years down the road, as you ride your bike down the road, and you cross that threshold to being that person right there. In fact, you are so much into the light, you are starting to disappear. Do you hear what I'm saying? Expect your future to be exactly like you want, but better. But don't expect anything. You don't want to get caught in the trap, the mighty trap of Maya, the mighty trap of illusion. Because off that bike you will fall and give yourself a contusion. Okay. Hello, Lisa Deaton, Timothy Johnson. Robert Harrison says light is energy. Everything is energy. Everything. Light is energy, seen or unseen. Light is always vibrating. Absolutely. Hello, Rhonda Little. My name is Keith Anthony Blanchard, Center of Light Readiness. What to expect? You can expect that August 1st, 2020, Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul will hit the world. Any bookstore, wherever you are, you can purchase Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. I'll see you shortly. Yanava, Keith Anthony Blanchard. So this place that we are going to, if you're fortunate, if you're not, sadly, hell, I don't expect anything either. I don't know. I know that my heart is the compass. The world that we're looking for is not out here. It's not. We had fun in that sandbox. A dog came along and pooped in the sandbox. Sandbox no longer good. Stinky dog poop. Mess. The world we are looking for has everything to do with this.
People listen to me as I sing this song for you. The message that I'm bringing is one of hope and truth. Inside message that I bring is warning and in your heart, that's where you'll find the truth. Look inside, that's where the love lies. Feel love, be the love. You are love. Feel. Listen to me.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Keith Anthony Blanchard here. Yanava. Yanava. Ancient dialogue. Ancient seed syllables. The primordial self. It's your name. Your name is Yanava. Everything's backwards. You can expect that. Everything soon is going to appear to be backwards. Center of Light readiness. What to expect. Expect your future, but don't expect anything. In this paradox, there's a magic that is going to flower. It's going to happen. I feel something coming through me now. I feel a deliberate intention. There are energies throughout our particular immediate system, biosystem, planetary system, solar system, galactic system. We're going to stay in this galaxy, so to speak, for now, that are being rearranged deliberately. There's a natural flow and things rearrange themselves, but this can appear almost as if a group of really high angelic beings or celestials or whatever they are literally grabbing pieces of the cosmos and moving them around with intention, as if you would something you're trying to sculpt. Things are being removed as well. What is being removed is what you see happening in front of your human eyes. It looks like things are being emplaced, being instead, what's the word I'm looking for? Anchored. Longevity. It's not. It's being revealed. This is part of the clearing process. Congratulations, you get to actually see what the planetary cleansing process looks like. Fortunate of you, only 2 or 3 other times in the human history has such a cleansing process happened that where humans were able to see such things. And this is the greatest one of them all. Things are being rearranged. Things are being moved around. So in these big movements, these big strides that are occurring, it's very important that you ready yourself. Ready yourself to be able to project yourself into a beautiful possible future. But also, don't expect anything. In so doing, you will open up that wound. You will split open that suture. And it won't suit you at all. So to find yourself is to find the dichotomy, the duality. I can expect my future to be like this because I've always heard about heaven on earth, the utopian society, nirvana, that which is beautiful that humanity deserves, and it is all of our birthright. Stay in that. Oh my God, I'm still in lockdown. Oh my gosh, the bad people. Oh my gosh, this, that. So we understand duality very well. We have been talking about duality a lot. Always go inside. Be with yourself. Always. Always. Don't ever go inside. Stay inside. Be inside. Every once in a while, put your toe in the outside swimming pool and see what it's like. But between these two poles is something so magnanimous. And when I'm asking you if you have balance, it's like riding a bicycle, still with training wheels. You lean to one side and the wheel catches you. And you're okay, you can coast. And you're trying to figure it out. And you lean to this side and you're okay, you can coast. But when you become Forrest Gump and you run so fast towards your destination that the shackles and the braces on your legs that have bound you break. Do you have that kind of fire, momentum? For goodness sake, I do. You got to be ready. I'm not asking you to close your heart, but being most compassionate to yourself first by not taking a hammer and self-inflicting a not needed blow. It's not necessary because there's a storm coming. And it looks like nothing we can possibly imagine. And that's the beauty of it. And what is even more beautiful than that is the beauty of you holding place, you being in yourself, so that at last, after eons of time, your time has come. You go, oh my God, all of these times before now has led to this now moment. And now here I am in this moment. The world's about to turn over on its head. That being said, don't end up dead like the world. You have bled for a long time. Have you not? Things have calmed down since March, early March, when all it started. It calmed down. Lots of noise, lots of hot air, the big bad wolf. I'm going to huff and puff and and the wolf blows. And like evangelist Kenneth Copeland said, COVID-19, I'll blow the breath of God. Same idea. That big bad wolf is going to blow again after it collects a full inhale with a mask on. It's going to blow. And it's going to be a harder blow than the last one. Don't try to make sense of the senseless. You can't do it. It's going to be senseless, completely senseless. You can't make sense of the senseless. But what you can make sense of is finding the sense of yourself by looking with your sixth sense within. That is where Christ is. Christ is, of course, the Sacred Heart. That's the gate. That's the fire. That's the Yah. But right here is where you will actually see Christ. Go into meditation with your head slightly turned up. Breathe like you want something beyond you've ever known. And focus right here. And stay with it. Invite the presence of Christ. And it will appear to you. You will see it clearly. Hello, Dora. Lady Dora. Andrea says we're in a slingshot. Juan Perez. Yes, Andrea, we are. Great. She says creativity on acid. Dana, good evening. Andrea says creativity on acid. Kelly Bauman says, oh my, yes. Had a dream the other night that I was face to face and toe to toe with a man that raped me. But this time I looked him in the eye and I said to him, you have been weighed, you have been judged, and you have been found guilty. As soon as I said that, he was taken away, and like you just said, and confirmed me, the weight fell off, and I flew up into the sky so happy and free. Congratulations. That's absolutely deliciously beautiful. Hello, Love, Nori Love. Hello, Dagny. Hello, Carla Holy. Blessings, everyone. Tonight is Center of Light, Readiness. What to expect. Expect your future. Paradoxically, simultaneously, don't expect anything, because you too, like the world, will turn over on its head. What does that mean, Keith? Expect your future, but don't expect anything. It means exactly that. So once you understand those two, drop back from those two, you will find another meaning encoded, hidden in between the empty space between expecting your beautiful future to be beyond what you always thought possible. But don't expect anything, because you don't want to be disappointed, let down when you're trying to lift. Why would you want to go down when you're trying to lift? You get my drift? I want to read you some beautiful work from a friend of mine I interviewed recently. His name is Brad Johnson. He works with a higher intelligence by the name of Adronis. I didn't ask him his permission. It's his message. So I'm going to give him credit. Before I do that, I want to read you an excerpt from my soon-to-be released Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. Pre-order now on Amazon. Here is the link. That I think this excerpt from Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul will perfectly set up what Brad has to say, reinforcing both beautiful points. From Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, Spirit says, I say to those who regard yourselves as human beings first and spiritual beings second, as long as you hold on to the ideas about what you think I am and or should be, as long as you insist on denying your origin, you will not be able to thwart anything, nor will you be able to cross the bridge from earth to the divine. For my laws never conform to anyone's expectations. What to expect? My laws never conform to anyone's expectations, nor will they ever change. Once the world seeks God within, sustained by God, the world will be. From my friend Brad Johnson. Go stomp all over his page and check him out. He's a powerful vessel of the light. What I'm going to read you now came from a vesseling he did with Spirit, a higher intelligence, a few days ago. This is called the Earth Intelligence Report, July 2020. I want to change the music. I'm going to put in Brad's name. Let him know I'm talking sexy about him. All right. So from my new friend, Brad Johnson, this is the Earth Intelligence Report for July 2020. I'll make sure everything is correct. Let me get some wool too. Brad speaks very well when it comes to things of a galactic nature. Everything is firing off just fine. So let me read you what my friend Brad has to say in the Earth Intelligence Report, July 2020. This is Adronis, who is a higher intelligence that works through Brad. It's right on point. It's exactly how I feel, at least inside, in a different way. We shall elaborate further on the new developments taking place upon the earth and beyond the earth at this time. Your world has reached the boundary point of a great intensifying shift that will create turbulence through the governing factors across much of the Western and Eastern world. There are coalitions taking place at this time that have already succeeded in apprehending and shutting down operations of worldly controlled agendas. Such leaders within your eastern countries have already admitted their defeat and are at this time playing out a role as to not disturb the essential transition taking place at this time. Through the Eastern world, much of the coalitions that are primarily behind the scenes to defeat such agendas can be found commonly within the country of Russia as well as the country of Japan. There are associate countries in the East that are working together with these nations to assist in the continual transition taking place, as the disguise of an epidemic is the very cloaking blanket that shields much of what is transpiring relating to the effects of new leadership currently taking place. Hello, Peter Coyle. Hello, Kelly Holland. Continuing with Adronis working through Brad Johnson. Similarly, there are military agencies within the West, specifically within the United States, that are also successful in planting specific countermeasures that have foiled any future plans for corrupt agendas that would have taken place through the ILST operations. These plans have once again failed and are foiled. Where the epidemic is still a cloaking blanket preventing any uproar to what shall be delivered regarding the detainment and the apprehending of such elitist leaders will present themselves in the months to come. I just said that a minute ago, a little earlier ago. Therefore, we can state that many operations specifically designed to carry the continued agendas of control have been intercepted and are now currently being put to rest. Exactly what I said earlier about there are deliberate hands moving things around. This is the first time I read this. So, Brad, thank you for this beautiful contribution to the welfare of humanity, sir. However, there are still some aspects of the elitist agenda permitted. That's a key word here. They are permitted, they are allowed, because they voice their entry into the world. That's all they have to do. Then it's allowed. Then it's up to us to do the rest, to remove the weed. However, there are still some aspects of the elitist agenda permitted to still operate by the means of bait and switch tactics. And this we mean that agendas shall run as part of the transition of change now, so that they too can be canceled out and surpassed by the people of the world. As this happens, the collection of those elitists responsible can happen, and they too shall face situations of interrogation and removal from power. Beyond your world, as it has been shared by the entity known as Adronis, who is speaking through this dialogue, that a new collective agreement, this may be Brad speaking, excuse me, but these are vesselings from Adonis. Beyond your world, as it has been shared by the entity known as Adronis, that a new collective agreement, I see. The new world, excuse me, I want to, this is important. The Earth Intelligence Report, I think, is a federation in and of itself, as to why it's speaking about Adronis in second or third person. Beyond your world, as it has been shared by the entity known as Adronis, that a collective agreement, constitution, on an interstellar level has been achieved. One may see this as a declaration of truce between a multitude of different races that span over 40 different kinds and for the people of Earth. This is powerful stuff, man. There is a new cosmic stronghold that is taking place that shall permanently operate upon the Earth's moon indefinitely. This new stronghold of authority is governed by a human race. Humans occupy local space. I've been saying this for a couple of years. The new stronghold of authority is governed by a human race, although a human race that you're not currently associated or aware of. It is to be known that this human race is known as the guardianship, and they will continue to operate behind the scenes to ensure safety, security, integrity, and overall well-being of the Earth and of this star system. Hello, Nucleus 8, my alien-human hybrid friend. Further installations throughout the solar system are currently being remanned by new personnel, and that there is an increase of security detail that exists throughout many of the planetary bodies within your star system as we speak now. Hello, Lynn Marie. Again, I want to say thank you to Brad Johnson for bringing this beautiful piece of powerful information, needed information, into this world. There are also preparations to work on higher levels of intervention to clear out many assailants upon your Earth that once represented corrupt agendas on an interstellar level. In other words, those in disguise upon your Earth, not naturally born upon your world. You would find that there are such agents as well as you will find that these such agents, as we call them, found within the higher echelons of many organizations pertaining to government and military branches. These beings are currently being rooted out and will no longer hold any specific authority, as they too once held associations with your elitist groups. In turn, there will be new agents, as it were, that will be assigned to key areas within these organization-based platforms previously stated. And finally, this is all for the purpose of ushering in an important transitional phase that is taking place upon your planet now. For there will be upcoming cosmic shifts. Yanava. For there will be upcoming cosmic shifts that will be encountered within your star system that serve as powerful transit waves that will appropriately adjust and modify events that were looking to propagate, that will no longer propagate, as adjustments throughout the sun, your planetary cycles, and through lunar orbits occurs. This will facilitate greater change through events that will cancel out. Expect your future, but don't expect anything. That will cancel out old events attempting to rule in corrupted favor. These plans shall not see the light of day, as new changes regarding collective thought events are now being propagated upon your world to better serve and support the collective intent of humanity. This representing the powerful cyclic shift leading you into a much more prosperous era as you begin your next decade. This concludes the Earth Intelligence Report. July 2020. Again, I want to drop that link to Brad Johnson, who channels many different spiritual energies. Adronis, the Earth Intelligence Report. Check him out. He does really well on YouTube as well. Keith Anthony Blanchard, Center of Light. Center of Light Readiness, what to expect. As I said earlier, expect everything. Expect your future. But yet, don't expect anything. As Brad said, things will begin to cancel out each other. So how do I expect everything and not expect anything? That in and of itself is a cancellation of thought. Now that those two ideas have been canceled out as they cross out each other, because I told you to hyperfix and hyperfocus on expect everything, but don't expect anything. So it creates a wobble, a discombobulation inside. So you just throw that away. And the question simply becomes, now that I looked at these two polarities, and it created a disturbance in the cosmic system of your own inner self, put it aside and ask yourself, now what? That now what is the birth. It's the seed that is now beginning to germinate. And we're having help from deeper levels of the infrastructure to give us all structure within. So we have help. The Lord helps those who help themselves. We have support. They got our back, our front as well. Now would be a good time to contact your inner guides. Make contact with your guides. Carolyn Renando, if you are still here, it just dawned on me, dear, to give you a kiss on your face. I'm going to publicly disclose that. Hello, Brad Johnson. Everyone meet my my new friend, Mr. Brad Johnson. Brad, I just read your July 2020 Earth Intelligence Report. I gave you credit, my friend, of course, twice. I want to say thank you for your contribution to humanity, for working with Adronis and the federations and such that you do. I personally, and I'm sure everybody in here, really, really enjoyed your contribution of the Earth Intelligence Report. It was packed full of lots of encrypted information beyond what was actually read and or said. So thank you. Andrea says, I was wondering how to PM you while you were live. Now just seeing this, you're losing me on the Brad Johnson end. It's a lot. You have to be open to receive. It's full. Go to Brad's page. Read it at your pace. Anyone. That applies to anyone. Take in what you can. Back in the day, I used to read Dr. James J.J. Hertog's work. I could sit and read 2 or 3 pages. It's so packed with information on levels. It actually can naturally and normally sometimes begin to, quote, hurt. Because it's like eating cheesecake or eating one more bite of that Thanksgiving dinner food that you have to unbutton your buckle just to move around and function. So let's see here before I go to a quick break. Robert, Peter Coyle, Kelly, Andrea, Lynn, Sana, Albilita, Abigail, Rhonda, and Sun Hugs. Keith Anthony Blanchard here, Yanava. Readiness. What to expect. Expect your future. But don't expect anything. The earth is going to turn over on its head. And when you claim you're that of the divine and not so connected to the earth, you're going to do just fine. I'll see you shortly. Welcome back to Center of Light. Tonight we are speaking about Center of Light readiness. Are you ready? It's come down to now. Now's the time. Center of Light readiness. What to expect. Expect your beautiful future, but don't expect anything. Find your balance in this conundrum, in this paradox, in this simple idea of cancellation. Things are moving. Really, really moving. We're in a still right now. That implies things come in waves. This happened, and we all got locked in. And we sat still for a while. And everything's sitting still. There's still some turbulence out there, but the waters are not gushing. Yet. Again. So we're in the lull right now. But not for long. It's climbing. Actually, we're climbing into it. It's beginning to peak. Not only are we getting to the peak of the wave, to crest that wave, it's beginning to peak. And it should pique your curiosity. When we cross the hill, down for another loop and swoop on the roller coaster we go. Are you strapped into the car? Are you secure? As I say, take the seatbelt off. In life, put the seatbelt on. Spirituality, take it off. Simply take it off. Trust you're not going to fall. In your falling, trust that you're not going to fall. Things we've never seen before, never thought possible. Horrible things. Trafficking. Adrenochrome. How will it move your heart when you hear publicly that people are actually hunted for sport? What will you do with that? Just for an idea. Equally, how will you feel when you walk into a window of such amazing abundance and prosperity that everything is there? It's just waiting for you. It's been waiting forever. And it belongs to you, and you will see that. So, expect your beautiful future, but don't expect anything. Because you can, and you very likely will be very disappointed. Yanava. Movement, movement, movement. Into a groovement you will soon find yourself. Is your life record playing this way on 33, 45, or 78? Or are you deliberately taking the turntable and turn the tables as they work in your favor, but are you turning them backwards to hear this not so pleasant sound or not so pleasant experience? Is your record scratched? Your Akashic Hall of Record, is it scratched? Or did you buy a new piece of vinyl? And as you listen to the song of your life, it's sort of like, nothing like a piece of vinyl on a record player. A brand new one at that. Well, dear ones, likewise, you are brand new records, only to be recorded in the Akashic Hall of Record, in the ethers. A new chapter is being written at this very moment. In fact, the ink pen has just touched the page. Turn the page. Hello, page. The world is awfully enticing. The fishing lure that will soon be thrown to you will be bigger, it'll taste better, and you will want to bite. Sit in your house and be quiet if you must. Just be quiet and watch the movie. Find your balance in the horror flick that will soon project itself on the screen you call reality. You have to change the film, dear one, if you want to see a different movie entirely. You have to remove the filter you have been used to. And the one we suggest is no filter at all. beings beyond levels you can possibly understand are moving things around. They have been given cosmic permission to step. And step they do. And step they will. But will you join them in this glorious globetrotting, if you will, gallivanting of spiritual delight? It's time to pick up your gait so that you can fall further into the gate. Again, as the vessel often says, in fun, don't be late for this party. You may think, again, as been said before, I am a very well-balanced individual. I know enough about myself to step in and or step out when the time is appropriate. Expect a beautiful future, but don't expect anything. Don't even expect that you have the power of that yourself to make sense of the senseless, because you can't, nor will you ever. So what do? Stop expecting things to look the way you think they should to give you comfort. This is not about comfort. This is about expansion. So you must expand beyond what you know as comfort to achieve that very thing. Do you not? So there you have it. Do you want that very thing to expand you? Or do you want to expand yourself before that very thing gets to you? Now, that way you can handle it in more of a balanced way. And so forth, as you stretch for the golden ring, time after time after time, you find yourself just ahead of the game that can pull you into the current, further into the swirl of the abyss. And you may find yourself in a space of a dismissing of something that could have held you into a state of being upright. You see, the current that is moving in the cosmic sea, even in the outside world, is very, very strong. Lifeguards do drown in the rip current. Let me say that again. Life, metaphorical, powerful word for this image. Lifeguards can drown in the riptide. Remember that. You may be spiritual, but the tide on the outside of you is ripping apart everything. Don't drown. Keep up. Stay afloat. Arise. Raise your vibration. Live without judgment. That means don't expect anything. Live with conscious judgment. That means expect your beautiful future. In other words, don't label anything. Don't label a this, a that, or a that, a this. Do you see? Do you see? Do you see that place that is often spoken about through this experience you call as center of light? Do you see? So which one is it? Exactly. But I'm trying to find it. You've missed it. You don't try to find it. You don't expect it. You create it. Expect your beautiful future to come to you effortlessly. But don't expect this world to ever change from the place that you find yourself launching from. You will find yourself in the same conundrum. Do you see? Do you see? That is a very small, minuscule, majestic, powerful key that fits into the door. The one door that everyone wants. It is there by birthright. It belongs to you. Are you scrounging in your pocket for the keys only to find the wrong one? You try again and you find another erroneous one. This is not a key you find. This is a key that you are. You are the key. You see, you are the star. You have to raise the bar of what you deserve and what you feel you are worth. In all ways, in all mirth, the joke simply is on you. I hope you feel very humorous for the rest of your life. Likewise, what can be coming for all of you, depending on how humanity shifts, may not be funny at all. It's either going to be funny or not funny at all. So which one is it? Exactly. Do you see? Expect your beautiful future, but don't expect anything. Soon, the world will be turned upside down. Don't be turned on your head with it. Yanava, it is complete. Andrea says, hang on. It is all just words. I like vibrations and sounds. Hi, Janie. Everyone, Keith Anthony Blanchard here. I'll be seeing you soon. Once again, before I close this evening. Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. August 31st, 2020. It will be released worldwide. There will be no place you can not buy it. But if you will, let me grab this link. Please go to Amazon if you have the ability and or the funds, or simply the want. To support this beautiful cause, purpose, why? This beautiful cause, why? Because. Pre-order Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul now. You are loved beyond measure. It is my pleasure, my treasure to be in this beautiful thing we call life. It is a dream. Are you waking up from this nightmare? Are you astrally traveling? Are you having soul excursions? Are you speaking with your deceased loved ones? So much so that you don't have to have an experience with them in such a manner that they live with you and they are your mana. They're all around you and you feel it. That way you don't feel any disconnect. You are not disconnected from anything, nor can you ever be. It may seem so. It will flee when you see. See? Expect your beautiful future, but don't expect anything to be the way you want it. I love you beyond measure.